Start the recording. I'm with Lori Hoye, and you're out there at the jail. That's in Santa Rita?
Yes. Well, Santa Rita is actually the name of the jail. It's actually in Dublin, California.
Oh, that's right. And you are, I say you're out there, you're actually waiting. They don't actually let you walk in the door and that kind of thing. There's a process you have to go through. Why don't you tell people about that?
Okay. Well, the process that I am learning, I've done this twice, is you come to the jail facility and people get in line as early as 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm told, to get on the list. Evidently, a deputy comes out with a clipboard, and there are a certain number of visitation slots for each housing unit. Walter happens to be in housing unit 34.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lady told me that, there's 33, 34, and 35. They're all kind of like connected to one another. So the housing unit that Walter is in has 33 slots for visitors. And the slots are given away on a first come, first served basis. So the people that are out here at 4 o'clock in the morning are at the front of the line to get on the list for whichever housing unit they want to get into. And just to give you an idea, I found out on Saturday morning at 6:30 that what housing unit Walter was in, and I was told that the line is already forming outside. So I jumped in my car and got out here about 20 minutes after 7 and got in the line, and I was 19 on Saturday to come back to visit at 12 o'clock. And it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting on a list. Now on Sunday, the visitation is at 6 o'clock, but I still got here at like 8:20, and at 8:20 in the morning, being in line for 6 o'clock visitation, I got the 32nd slot out of 33 to come back almost 8 hours later.
Wow.
So it's an interesting process. And once you get on the list, you come back at least half an hour before your visiting time, and then you stand at the entrance, and then they call off people's names, and then they hand you another piece of paper, which you have to fill out and put down who you're visiting and your name and ID and information. Then you go get in another line to go through the security check. And then once you go through the security check, you go all the way down to the actual visiting area where you sit and wait. You actually hand this piece of paper through this little slot. There's a security guard inside this glass box. You stick this piece of paper in the slot, and then he'll take it and nod, and then you sit there and wait for them to call the name of the person that you're going to visit. So it's an interesting process. And then you're talking on a phone through the glass, and you have anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, depending on where you are in the first, second, or third wave of visitors. And it really, it's quite phenomenal. You spend a lot of time in line waiting for the next thing to wait for before you actually visit.
And if you wanted to, if there are a lot of people who wanted to see their loved ones in jail there, if they didn't get in line in time, they wouldn't be able to do so, would they?
No, there was one young lady who was here. She actually drove up from Los Angeles, and she was late. That's the other part too. Even if you get on the list, if you don't get back here on time for them to call your name, then they'll put you at the bottom of the list. So say you were the fourth or fifth person, but you didn't get back here until 11:45 for a 12 o'clock visit. Well, they already called your name, so now you're down at the bottom. You may end up getting 30, even though you were in line as fourth or fifth. And this one young lady on Sunday, she was not going to get in, but someone who was on the list didn't get back in time, and so they gave her the last visitor's pass to actually come in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how are Walter's spirits?
I'm sorry?
How are Walter's spirits? How's he holding up?
Well, Walter is actually doing pretty good. I mean, it's amazing. When I first saw him on Saturday, he said that evidently the pod that he's assigned to, he said they call it the Bible corner. And so he got in there about 4:30 in the morning. He said when I saw him at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, he had already taught Bible lesson and been talking with different men that were in there and came with them. So And then when I
That's
saw him on
great.
Sunday, which was about 7:30 in the evening, he said that when they came to get him to come to visit, he was in the process. He had led a young man to Christ, and so he had preached Sunday morning. He was teaching Bible study, and he's been counseling with the various men. That I think there's 36 men in the same area.
Hmm.
And so he said he just sits on his bunk. He's on the top bunk, and they come and talk to him and ask him questions about the Bible or ask him questions or seek counsel on their lives. And so it's the 2 days that he's been here has just been amazing.
Wow.
What the Lord has done.
Mm. So now he has the opportunity to share the message of God and, of course, talk about the pro-life issue while he's in there as well.
Exactly. One of the things that he shared, he said, so the inmates know why you're in here, and they respect the fact that he could have plea bargained and he could have made a whole lot of other arrangements other than being in there. And so he said he kind of has pseudo celebrity status. They have actually read. I don't know how the newspaper or how media works in here, but they've actually read an article about his case and what he's doing. And so they're interested. He's able to, get the conversation going about life and talking with men who men themselves who have been victimized by abortion. So it's amazing.
Well, that's a heck of a
Done.
witness. I mean, especially you think about the fact that they basically have to hear that you could have avoided coming in here and you decided to come in here anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And
So,
Kerry Thompson, who visited with Walter yesterday, said that he said they had kind of like a midnight worship service. And he said there's one gentleman who can sing, but he didn't know the words to Amazing Grace. He said so they taught him the song, and so it's kind of like Paul and Silas. At midnight they're singing in the jail. They
mm,
didn't really have a full blown worship service going, so it's amazing.
all right. Well, does it seem like he's going to serve? I guess he wouldn't serve the entire 30 days, but he's already got some time served, and probably good behavior and whatever. Any idea of when he'll get out?
Um, that's probably a life legal question. Katie Short or Allison Aranda.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they would have more information on that than I do at the moment. So I'm hoping that he doesn't serve the 30 days. I'm hoping that
Yeah.
it's overcrowded. I was telling somebody, I said he's going to be doing, he's going to be creating such a ruckus. They're going to have so much church in here, they're going to kick him out because nobody's getting any sleep. Everybody's
Yeah.
like at
Right.
midnight singing gospel songs and worshiping. It's like hey, he's a good discussion. They don't want it. So we'll see
they'll
what the
brand him
Lord.
a they'll brand him a troublemaker.
Right. That man, he'll go from being that man was carrying a sign, saying Jesus loves you and your baby, let us help you, to being in jail, having a worship service, leading a Bible study. The guy is just trouble wherever he goes. It's just amazing. And it's not the kind of trouble that you should be in jail for.
Right.
But the Lord is using Walter to reach men who I think are kind of like the forgotten victims in this